So it looks like it's just you and I right now. Let me hold on for a minute. It's like I'm looking at blurry here. Hold on for a minute. I don't know why I'm being blurry. Let's try that again. There you go. Now I'm clear. So normally we would have several people here, and the format of our meeting is the first part is a Q&A. So we get to ask questions, and then the second part we talk about a specific subject. So we get to know people more in terms of how they look at their business. And then the third part is where we do business share time. We can share some of your accomplishment stories. If you have any challenges, you can, if you're comfortable in sharing that, you can do that too. And lastly, you can also talk about your specific goals. So those are the three things that you can share during that business share time. And then lastly, we find ways to collaborate and how we can work together. So right now, I don't know where everybody is, but I'm going to go ahead and ask you a question.
Sure.
What type of business do you do, Brian? And so you're from Fort Worth, Texas. Yeah. What type of business do you do?
So let me back up just a tad. I'm originally from Dayton, Ohio. Recently transplanted in December 2020 to Fort Worth.
Okay.
For a work promotion. At the time, Dallas was part of my territory for the firm that I was previously at, but now I am a managing director at Rainstar Capital Group. We are a private equity firm that specializes in strategic growth for small businesses to large corporations, based out of Grand Rapids, Michigan.
Okay.
And pretty much what we do is we provide not only strategic planning, but also capital in the form of debt for these businesses to help them with their project expansion goals.
I see. Okay, cool. Let me welcome Scott here and Josh. Josh, how are you? Can you hear us?
Yeah, I'm doing good. Just setting up my
Your video?
webcam.
Okay. Yeah, we Brian McKenzie and I just started talking, so you guys are welcome to join us, and with your video, I think that'd be awesome. Scott, can you hear us? I don't have any sound. Okay, so let me see what's going on. This is with Scott. There you go. We see you. Do you hear us though? Can you hear us? Let me see.
Oh, I think he left.
Oh, okay, I see. Oh, Josh. Okay. So, but the other guy probably is gonna try and come back in. I don't know. We'll see. Hopefully he can come in. So anyway, Josh, how are you?
Yeah, doing good. Doing good. How are you?
Yeah, it's been a while since we had you. Everything is good
Yeah.
with you?
Yeah, it's getting better.
Okay.
Yeah, very blessed. Yeah, thanks.
All right, that's good. Okay, so it looks like I have Dr. Monsi joining us. Okay. And I have a few more people that are supposed to be here, so they might be running a little late.
Yeah.
Hello, Dr. Monsi, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you guys. Hi.
So are you available on video?
Yeah, in a few minutes. I just wanted to finish up some work that I was doing from a previous meeting.
Okay, catching up. All right.
Yeah.
Well, we have Brian McKenzie here from Fort Worth, Dallas. And Brian, I guess I'm going to ask you again the question so everybody can hear it. And we have Josh Elliott. He was a member of Fire Connect, and he's been gone for a while, but now he's back. So very happy.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Welcome back. Hi, Brian and Josh. Nice to meet you guys.
Pleasure to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
And Dr. Monsi is from San Diego, actually. So she was the presenter from our last meeting, and she did an amazing job on if you guys, Josh, if you wanted to see her presentation, you can go log into our website and look for my activity log,
Okay,
the recording is in there. So you can watch all the presenters or all our meetings recording just to catch up if you wanted to do that.
sounds great. I'll do
Okay.
that.
And so anyway, let's go ahead. I was asking Brian a question in terms of what he does. So Brian, do you want, if you don't mind repeating it again so they can hear it?
Sure.
All right.
Sure, absolutely. I'm a managing director with a firm called Rainstar Capital Group. We're based out of Grand Rapids, Michigan, and we specialize in strategic growth models for small businesses to large corporations. And we provide capital for those particular projects to help businesses basically kind of scale their operations and grow.
Awesome. Now, Brian, you get to ask a question. So you choose either Josh or Dr. Muncy. It's up to you.
All right. Josh, I see your logo in the back of Solve It. Can you tell a little bit about your business and kind of what you do?
Yeah, sure. So I started last August. I've never done anything like this, and I'm still, finding my way, as an entrepreneur, business owner. But basically, I sell or services for IT to small businesses. So I offer consulting, development, or support, for small businesses.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Awesome. Now, Josh, you get to ask Dr. Muncy here.
Hi, Dr. Muncy. I missed you at the last session, but what is your business?
Yeah, so I am a functional medicine doctor and I am a gut health specialist. So I help people with gut health and autoimmune and just help them pretty much reverse it, but we're not allowed to say that. But pharmaceutical world doesn't want you to know that these are pretty much conditions that could actually be managed where your life can be pretty good without it. So that's what I help people with. And then I also have other things and we'll talk about that more, but I want to focus more on my functional medicine practice. So that's what I've been building right now.
Awesome.
Okay, great.
All right. Now, Dr. Muncy, you get to ask me a question.
All right. So I guess, Marie, you're the one left, right? What is it that you see yourself doing before the end of this year? Like, what are some short-term 6-month goals?
Okay. Well, I want to make sure that I establish the International Wealth Builders Association meetings here in San Diego. So that's what I'm working on right now. I have 6 months to accomplish that. It's a big deal because I think that's where most of my earnings and also my connections are very strong when it comes to that organization. So that's why I'm really excited about that. I mean, I already started it in the city of Temecula and we're doing the ribbon cutting ceremony on July 27th. And now I'm creating a chapter in San Diego and possibly be able to start the one in Orange County also, because I have people already that are interested in creating a chapter in Orange County. So that's what I'm focused on. Anyway, well, this is our first part of our meeting, and thank you so much for sharing, for doing the Q&A. Now we're gonna go next part of our meeting is to talk about a subject. And since we have, it looks like I have my assistant coming in. It looks like since we are in the strategic planning for business and funding, and then we have technology with Josh and healthcare with Dr. Muncy, it's a very broad industry, but at the same time, we're using technology right now as part of what we do. How does it work in your business in regards to, the structure of your business? I'm going to go start with Brian, because I know that you're doing the strategy. How does technology surrounds your business, and, how does it work for you?
So we do a lot in the fintech financial technology space. With fintech allows us to more effectively underwrite clients that are looking to obtain funding. So it's more algorithm based than just your traditional in-person underwriting, so to speak. But basically, it just helps us from the standpoint of efficiency to allow us to be able to process more transactions quickly for clients.
Okay. And Dr. Muncy, what about you?
So how I utilize technology in my business,
Yes.
in every single way, because my practice is virtual, and then of course we need like a whole like a creative team for marketing, and then we have funnels we use, and then of course for the hedge fund we can't trade without the trading platform, which is MetaTrader MT4. And yeah, it's all without technology. Honestly, I wouldn't even be able to do all the business I'm doing.
Okay. And Josh is the expert here when it comes to technology. I mean, give us some broad, perspective on this one.
Yeah, so I'm familiar with a lot of the different platforms like AWS and Azure, and hosting sites and creating mobile apps. But the thing that's interesting right now really is a lot of the small businesses are watching an advertisement for some flashy new product website, monday.com, or several HubSpot. There's so many, it seems new ones pop up every week, and they sign up and they don't realize how those applications are supposed to communicate with each other. And does it have the functionality that matches what they're needing for their business model and their processes? So a lot of what I and the team have been doing is learning these new platforms, so that we can support them and help administer them for the clients, or integrate them together. So it's like 2 or 3 applications new every week that I'm learning. So
Wow. Well, so you mentioned monday.com. I remember going in there and I just couldn't figure out how to even maintain that application. And I use a lot of different types of application, but it's interesting. Do you really need someone that would really maintain all of that for you?
yeah, I think the big part of any of those platforms like ClickUp, Asana, Monday, any of those are ramping up and getting all your data points in the system. And then making sure your team is actually following all those perfect data points that you want to track. There's different permissions and formulas and automations that you can do, but it does take a ramp up to get into the system. And in a lot of ways, some of these companies actually find spreadsheets easier to work with, even though that's not very efficient, and there's so much more you can do with these platforms. So yeah, one of my roles is to help get companies onto the platforms to use them properly, and then to get their administrator to make sure it's kept clean.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Brian, with your system, I mean, do you I guess when it comes to managing your system, do you have a way to track your clients' progress and things like that?
Yeah, we generally leverage our lending partners platforms as far as from a pipeline management perspective, just to kind of find out where our clients are with regards to their deal flow is concerned. We are looking at obtaining our own, let me back up. The managing directors actually are kind of responsible for obtaining their own contact management software. So was something that I'm in the process of actually exploring myself, and just I've worked on different platforms over the years for different companies that I've been employed with, but just trying to find one that's going to be suitable for my clients' needs now.
Okay. Dr. Muncy, I know with the healthcare system, I mean, I used to work for healthcare, And I remember managing the decision support system where they were, handling the cost accounting, productivity, budgeting. Do you have anything like that that you use for your company?
Not right now, but I'm sure as we grow, there'll be more usage, right? So, but right now I don't have the need, but for the hedge fund, we have to do quarterly analysis and we have to use softwares for that. So yeah, but not for like a major healthcare system like that. Like we
Okay.
don't have that need.
Okay. So what are you using right now as just starting out for your business?
What do you mean by that? Like,
What kind of system do you use to manage your clients and to track your appointments, your
right.
follow-ups and everything like that?
So right now it's through basically we have an Excel because we don't have that big of like we have handful of 15, 20 investors.
Okay.
And then I have a VA who manages the follow-ups and through my Google Calendar we can manage all the whatever's needed. So we don't have any major like complicated system need right now.
I see. Okay. Now, do you guys have any question for each other after you guys shared you heard everyone's input? Do you have any questions about the subject?
I had a quick question for Brian, if that's
Okay.
cool.
Sure.
Hey, so how large is your company? You mentioned managing directors, I believe.
Correct.
Do you have
So-
several, or?
Yeah,
how's that
we
work?
actually, our platform actually services both national as well as international business. But we have roughly 30 directors nationwide that basically manage their respective markets. Actually, Texas is probably the largest concentration of our employees right now. There are several in the Houston market, and a couple in Austin, and then myself, which I'll eventually be building out a team in the Dallas-Fort Worth market. But again, overall, we've got about 30 directors.
Nice. And
Wow.
do you, so I'm thinking of small businesses and funding. Do you provide loans, or is it more investors that you connect with?
We actually provide loans. So our
Okay.
platform consists of 250 different registered lending institutions. That's from private equity firms, specialty finance firms, insurance companies, private trust. So
Okay.
that's where we primarily get our backing from. We do also do some balance sheet funding with two of our other sister companies that were recently launched at the beginning of the year, which is our development capital space, or development capital division, I should say. And that entity focuses on ground up construction projects. So subdivisions, single family residents, multifamily, student housing, senior living. And then we also have our project capital segment, which basically functions in the capacity to provide capital for larger scale projects, so as well as international projects. So in that space, we're typically looking at deal sizes 25 million or greater, up to 10 billion. And then in the development capital space, we're looking at funding transactions anywhere between $1 million to 80 million.
Okay, great. Yeah, I have several clients who could use investment. They're trying to build mobile apps, and those can get quite expensive. So maybe
Sure.
you and I can connect later
Absolutely.
on that. Find out how I can refer them to you.
Okay, sounds good.
Because if you get them and give them money, then I get, paid for the project. I
Right,
get green light.
That's what we're
Okay.
here for.
Yeah, that's awesome, Brian. I do have a couple of things that I wanted to also ask you about. When you say private equity, do you have a group of investors that would be looking for projects?
Typically, when we talk about our private equity segment, it is really for the project capital segment. So larger scale projects, we actually have the private trust that we fund through, they actually have a joint venture platform to where they can provide equity if the project makes sense.
I see. Okay. Well, I definitely wanted to have a, a meeting with you, Brian, because there might be some opportunities there. Dr. Muncy, you have any questions at all? Are you good?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess I'm from a very diverse sector, so it's different. I probably don't even know what these guys do on what level.
Yeah. I mean, you have the Forex services, right? So I don't know if Brian would be interested in that one too. I guess
Yeah.
he just needs to understand what it is, right, Brian?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and our platform is so robust. I mean, literally industry wide. I mean, we're industry agnostic, pretty much. Outside of quote unquote sin industries, we pretty much can provide capital to just about any project. Again, it's all about the project making sense and the margins being there for our respective lending partners. But pretty much anything project related, capital needs intensive, we can provide. We have a solution for it.
I would love for you to check the International Wealth Builders Association that I'm starting here in San Diego, Brian. The website is, internationalwealthbuildersassociation.com. Take a look at that, and we'll be talking about it when we're able to schedule a meeting. Okay.
Right. No, that's fantastic.
Yeah. So anyway, that is awesome. Let's take 30 seconds to just, write down what you think of this part of our meeting. Any comments, feedback. I think that'd be great. So Brian said his appointment got ended up being long. So he's not going to be able to make it to our meeting. And Dr. Rob said he's on the road, so he couldn't make it to our meeting. That's all right. Yes. Yeah, put in your information too, so you guys can connect. And I'm going to put my email. All right. Okay. So next part of our meeting is what we call business share time. Okay. So while you're working on your comments, I'm just going to explain what the business share time is, which I think you're very familiar, and I did share it to Brian earlier. So think about, what you wanted to share in terms of your success story or accomplishments, or if you want to just talk about any specific challenge that you want people to know and kind of get some ideas about how to solve it. And lastly, you can also talk about maybe a specific goal that you're aiming for and give us a time frame of when you wanted to accomplish that. I think that's something that we could probably work with. So who would like to start first?
Actually, I can go ahead and I can lead off. As far as goals are concerned, I don't think mine are more time restrictive.
Okay.
Really, at this point, since I just transitioned into this side of the financial sector, I was actually spent 22 years in residential and commercial mortgage lending prior to me joining RainStar in January. But really just I'm focusing on developing strong partnerships, good partnerships, working with good people, trying to find good projects. And that's really what the focus of our firm is. I mean, we do a lot from the educational outreach perspective. So just looking for opportunities to let prospective clients know what we do. A lot of times, most businesses are conditioned to just deal with their traditional financing sources, their local bank that they may have had an extended relationship with. Well, given the fact that banks have appetites at greater times than others with regards to certain project types, when banks traditionally contract as far as their lending appetite is concerned, That's where our platform really helps out businesses, because we have so many different investors that we can leverage their capital that actually want to deploy capital for that matter. So really, it's just about finding those right clients that need our services. So, open to any and all educational outreach opportunities and partnerships.
Awesome. Okay. All right, who's next?
Yeah, I can.
Yeah, go ahead, Josh.
Dr. Manson. Sorry. Yeah, so one of my goals for the next month or two is to kind of transition some of the big projects that I have to my team to be able to run with them without needing my help every single day, like every hour it seems, so that I can, reach out to more people, do more networking like this, and yeah, actually have multiple projects in flight at the same time rather than just, a few big ones.
It is difficult to clone yourself, you know what I'm saying?
Right. If they
And
thought like I did.
yeah. But here's
Yeah.
one thing you could do, Josh, because your expertise is so specialized that people really will almost depend on you on how you run your business and how you can
Yeah.
train them. But for the things like networking, you can actually get more people to help you on the networking side, because they are it's only just kind of like reading a script about your business and how they can promote you into those networking groups. That is one way that you can look at your time and yourself being in a situation where, are you going to have to be in this business in terms of training, or are you going to have to be on the networking? So if you need in both, you need to find people that can really help you based on their strength. A lot of people are good in networking and they speak well. If you need people that will represent you to keep pushing your business, you got to hire those kind of people that can speak well for you. And that's
Yeah,
one way.
that's a good
And then
point.
your specialty and in terms of what you do is really hard to duplicate unless they have the experience that you have. And it's such a valuable skill that it's really hard to tell people what they need to do.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. That's a good tip.
Yeah. So, that's one way, because I was talking to James Watson, who is one of our sales representative, and he's a member of this, and he was also having the battle because he's got clients that needs his time to, do the consultation, but he wants to network. And I said, well, how about you bring in some of the people that can help you on networking? So you might need to have a representative sometimes in the meeting. So you're continuing to market your business with other people's strengths.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good point.
Okay. All right, Dr. Muncy, what about you?
So one of the business shares I would like to do is, Brian and Josh, they're both new. So we just started a stem cell clinic in Guadalajara, Mexico. And the type of work that we do is very life-changing. So we had treated a few patients when I was there last time, and their story just really is life-changing because, somebody was completely disabled, and in the sense where their quality of life was really bad, and now they have a really good quality of life where they're active, happy. So things like that, taking them from illness to health is what has been really, really rewarding in the business.
Awesome. Well, we got a new attendee here. I mean, it's actually, she's not new, she's a member. Martha, how are you?
Hey everyone, I'm doing really good.
Okay, we're almost on the business share time now. So we just heard from Dr. Muncy and Josh and Brian. So you want to tell us what your business share time is? Are you there? Are you having trouble with your internet?
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
So my business is Solix Business Services, and what I do is I go into a business and we look at all the numbers from financial to marketing to operation, and we try to scale the business using those numbers. So a lot of times people try to strategize, but the very first element to a business is looking at those numbers.
Okay.
So it's very exciting. It's my math degree.
Yeah, and I can hear your son in the background. Are you there?
Anyway, a lot of kids around here.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm glad that you were able to join us even for the last part of it. So anyway, so Martha, I don't know if you met Dr. Muncy. Have you ever met her before?
Yeah, she was in the call with us, I
Yes.
think,
And
last week.
have you met Josh before? Josh is with IT.
No, I don't think I've met Josh.
Okay.
Is everyone part of Fire Up Connect here?
Yeah, Josh is a member, and Brian is the first time guest here. And Brian does capital funding for businesses. Actually, he will be a good connection for you because you work with a lot of business owners. By the way, Brian, Martha actually helps a lot of companies from small to medium and large because she works with them on their financials in terms of doubling or tripling their revenue. So I think it'll be a great thing for you to connect with Martha too. Okay.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Too bad we didn't have Brian George here because Brian George does the tax planning for businesses, and his appointment was running late, so he couldn't make it to our meeting. But if you join us, Brian, you'll get to meet a lot of our members too, that you'll be able to see how the connection here is incredible. So, I encourage you to come back, and we meet every Tuesday at 3:00 p.m. and every Friday at 11. Okay. All right. So let me take a look at our time here. We have actually 25 minutes to run, to use. So here's what I wanted to do. Let me ask you this question. What kind of what did you hear from everybody that gave you an idea or opportunity for your business? So I'll start with you, Brian, since this is your first time. Did you find anything that would work for you?
Oh yeah, I mean, this has been a tremendous value. I mean, just any business owner that I can connect with, I mean, there's going to be an opportunity there. Again, just based upon the infrastructure of our platform, we have solutions that can help basically all that's on the call. So it's definitely valuable.
Okay. And Josh, I know this is, I think your third time. Is it your third time meeting?
Yeah, maybe the fourth, but
Okay.
yeah, that's close. I lost count. Yeah, I'm interested in connecting with Brian and Martha, you as well. So one of the problems my customers have, they're trying to build mobile apps, for example, is coming up with a pricing model or strategy for, for them to make a profit and pay expenses and develop the app, continue that. Is that something that you could help with? Possibly?
Yes.
Okay.
I actually, one of my research when I was doing my master thesis was on pricing. So I took the data from Boeing. I don't know, was it Boeing? Like one of those hybrid cars that was first coming, the Chevy Bolt. So I designed even a new equation for pricing a new product. So I'm very experienced with this from a theoretical point of view to a practical point of view, because I know both business and math. So yeah,
Okay, great.
Connect me to them and I will love to help them.
Yeah.
One of the reasons why I was able to go our business from 5 million to 10 million was the pricing, was being able to use numbers strategically, from pricing to inventory tracking, just everything, even marketing.
Okay. Yeah, I may need to look at my pricing model too then. Yeah.
Yeah, she's a powerhouse, Josh. I mean, we've been having a great time working with Martha. I mean, we had Paul was in traveling right now. Paul Matamoros, I don't know if you ever met him, but he was here and we were working. I think you had a meeting with Paul too, Martha, right?
Yeah, this is what's amazing, Brian, about Fire Up Connect is that you get to see these people and then you meet with them in person. It doesn't feel like a stranger. As soon as me and Paul saw each other, we just hugged it out like we knew each other forever.
Yeah, he's in New Mexico, and he traveled all the way to Chicago to see Martha.
Oh,
That's
wow.
how incredible this relationship that we're having here. And Brian, I mean, you got to meet Brian. Brian is one of those, very knowledgeable people. And Dr. Monsi is amazing. I mean, her presentation, you got to see her presentation too. But anyway, I wanted to ask Josh. Josh, would you like to do a presentation here at the Fire Up Connect? And it will be like a 7-minute presentation. And then there's
Yeah.
a 3-minute Q&A.
I'd be open to it with,
Okay.
I'd have to be, kind of prepare for that.
Yeah, I
I'm
mean,
not,
you tell
I'm
me.
not, I'm a
you
very
tell me-
much introvert. I'm horrible at sales, horrible at presentations.
Okay.
One-on-one, I'm great. Not great. I'm decent. But
Well, this is
yeah.
almost like a one-on-one for us because it's a small group of people. You see what
Yeah,
I'm
I think a
saying?
lot of it's mental, the pressure I put on myself,
Yeah.
just anticipating.
So if you wanted to do that, you let me know what day. It's
Okay.
either a Tuesday or a Friday, and just give
Yeah.
me a date, and then I will create a flyer for you. We will
Okay.
promote it and kind of announce you that this is your expertise and all of that. So that's part of branding the members of Fire Up Connect. And like I said, we have a lot of forms of branding businesses. We could do a radio show interview if you're up for that. We will be and Martha actually hosts. She's hosting a radio show for Fabulous Lifestyle starting this month. Am I right, Martha?
Yeah, Josh, maybe we can break the ice for you on that. And you can come on with me.
Yeah, break the ice for me too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll reach out. I'll
We
reach out
we
to
can
you.
talk about it. Okay.
Okay, Martha, did you put your
Sounds good.
information on the chat?
No, I will. And I'll grab it.
Okay.
Can you put your information to everyone? I'm sorry, maybe didn't grab everyone's.
I think when you come in late, you don't see it, but I will save it and I will make sure you get it. But definitely, make sure that you connect with Martha. Now, Dr. Monsi is, I don't know, have you had a meeting with Dr. Monsi at all? Martha, did I lose her?
No, I haven't met with her in person.
Okay. I think it will be great for you to meet with Dr. Monsi because she's got multiple things that's happened that she's doing. She has a business.
Are
for-
you a doctor? Like you have a practice?
Yeah, I do have a practice.
Oh my God. I'm gonna share a few of my articles right now in my PhD, my area of research. I'm not kidding you guys. Look me up on Google Scholar. I'm doing something called process mining, and we're predicting the next event for diseases in hospitals. But we also can use that same tool to predict when something is like when you're losing time in a practice, or when you see a patient is sick and you prescribe them the wrong thing, we can run those predictions for you, or even the whole workflow. I want to talk to you more about it because right now it's just very big words, but I want you to see it for your own. So I will set up a meeting with you.
So
You might be.
Martha, you're in San Diego too, right?
No, I'm in Chicago.
Okay, wow. Okay, yeah. I do go to Chicago a lot, so I'll be there end of this month.
Wow.
Okay,
We're gonna-
let's meet up.
Yeah, we're gonna
Yeah,
have to have an event in Chicago and bring all the Fire Up Connect members there.
Marie's helping me with this event. I'm making a big conference. I mean, 200 to 300 people. We're gonna do it in August next year, and Marie's gonna help me on this because she's an
Yes.
expert at networking and
Oh, yeah.
organizing large groups of.
Absolutely, she is a genius. So, quick share on how like Fire Up helped me out was I met with Dr. Rob yesterday for coffee, and then I signed up for his PR package. So, yeah, he's gonna do a bunch of PR for me, and then of course like he has a lot of connections that he's introducing me to get more local PR done. So yeah, that's a great start. And like it didn't feel like I didn't know him. It was like I knew him from all these meetings, and we had a great time and it was good.
Yeah,
So-
and then you are also connected to Faiz, right?
With
I-
who?
The Faiz, the one that I just recently connected to, who does the compounding pharmacy.
Oh, yeah. Compounding pharmacy. And then also a great connection was Gunwin. I hope
Yes.
she joins our network, but so yeah, a lot of amazing people come here. Brand, for you, honestly, like because of funding, like is always needed in every business at many steps. I think you'll meet a lot of people who would avail your services a lot of times. And then of course Josh too, because everyone's requirements are growing now by the time. Like I think people don't even know what they need until
Yeah.
like you can show them what they really need, because there's missing parts that they don't even know that they exist. So I
Yeah,
get it.
that's very true. Very true.
Yeah.
Like you're like the human Zapier, like the
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Well, Brian, there's a lot of members here that are somewhat kind of like your personality. They're very hands-on but introvert in some ways. But because of very intimate, conversation, it makes it easier to communicate your information, and it's nothing that, anyone is judging. It's just really trying to work together intentionally, collaborating, and it's actually an amazing format. I love the way this is working for us. And it's not because I created it, but because I love really how it works, and the connections I get from it. Now look, Brian is here, and Brian is probably one of my best connection I can make here through Fire Connect because I have a lot of projects. So this is the kind of people you get here, and we get surprised almost every time we meet here. We get a lot of amazing people. So I am thankful, and thankful for all of you being here, by the way. And definitely, we're gonna create more opportunities and more amazing things. And there's gonna be, if you're a member, you get free radio show interviews also in a lot of ways. So I just have to make sure that you know that. So Dr. Masi was already interviewed in the Fabulous Lifestyle, right, Dr. Mansi?
Yeah, that was phenomenal. And then tomorrow I have the interview at the radio show.
Yeah, so she's getting a
Live.
second interview live. And then I know Martha, you're going to be interviewed. You're going to be scheduled for another interview also with Steve. So we just have to schedule that. Yeah, that's another one. So anyway, any questions, feedback for about this meeting? Brian, let's start with you. Feedback.
I think that the meeting is great. I'm glad that you put this together. One thing about myself is that anytime that I take time out of my day, everybody's busy, on this call, but you want to make sure that the call is going to be beneficial. And I definitely feel like meeting just the individuals right now, that there are some great opportunities. There's some synergies that our firm provides. And, just looking forward to getting to learn and know about each person's business a little more in depth, and, possible opportunities that I can help you all grow. So
Yeah, that's
it was great.
awesome. Yeah, it's a very efficient 1 hour meeting for us, right? You get to meet several people all at the same time.
Right, absolutely.
Because I am so busy. I was doing this before one-on-one. I said, this is not working. This is too many hours for one person. And so I thought Fire Connect is perfect the way it works. Josh, what do you think about our meeting?
Yeah, they're great. Meeting people in a smaller type, more intimate environment is less risky for me, is because just in general the way I am. So, and I always learn something. The tip you gave me about networking, it seems common sense, but it's not to me. So it's good to hear about it and take notes on it.
Yeah, I'd love to really see people become more successful and get more out of this, Fire Up Connect, because that's the whole point why we created it. There's a lot of ways to connect, people, but it has to be effective and efficient for all of us. Now, Martha, what do you think about our meeting today?
I always love coming here. And I do want to mention something. Fire Up Connect is just more than us jumping in the call 1 hour for 2 times a week. Marie actually serves as a great mentor because she is involved in so many industries. I mean, she knows what I'm talking about with the data. She's been in the fashion, she's been in marketing, she's been in real estate. So every industry, she has different connections. And when I say she's a mentor, just 2 days ago at night, I'm like, Marie, I'm doing a course. I need help. So it really cares about our growth that maybe I took advantage of it, but I'm like, help me. And sometimes she just talks to you and there's that professional there that's willing to hear you. So I really appreciate that, Marie. I want to make sure that they know that I love that because sometimes I don't have anyone else to look up to for this kind of things. And you're so open and I love it.
Well, I love your passion, Martha, and your drive because you are making things happen. The fact that you're running this new event in Chicago and bringing all the business people, you've got this business diva with 20 women, right? And you put together a book with 20 women, and now you're creating this big event. I mean, you're amazing. So I'm very happy to see what you're doing for your business. And then Dr. Monsi, lastly, what do you think?
Honestly, I love coming to these meetings. There is so much value, and Marie is genuinely a person who cares about connecting you with the right people and bringing the best value and the most efficiency in your business. And then, of course, and she's very open-minded. If you tell her about something, then she will look into it or she will understand. So yeah, she's an awesome business
Oh.
professional and a friend.
Thank you. Oh my gosh, this is a good recording here. I feel so special. Well, thank you so much. I mean, you guys bless me with a lot of things too. I mean, understand that, our relationship, goes to, really good friendship, for me. And that's really what matters to me too, aside from making a lot of money, we have some great relationships here. So anyway, I really, really appreciate your time. Brian, thank you so much for your time, for being here. I truly see there's a lot of value in what you do for people. I would really like to see us, be able to offer that to the people that are in my, circle of connections. So I think that would be awesome for you to have a meeting with you and talk more about it. Okay.
Fantastic. I'm looking forward to it. Thank you for the invite.
Yes. And Josh, I'm so glad to have you here because I still am wondering how we can work together. That's why I'm hoping that when you do a presentation, I'll have a better clarification on how I can, use your talent and your services for the people that also really need your help. Because if I don't know, it's hard for me to tell. So I need to get educated by you in order for me to be able to help you also along the way. Okay.
Sounds great.
Thank you. And Martha, you are incredible. You know how much I admire you for what you're doing. And Dr. Muncy, you are one of those people that are just totally gifted and talented with, what you do. And I know you're blessing so many people. Like we had someone whose father was, had a cancer or was going through chemo, and right away you're the one who can, connect with him and help him. That's just such a blessing. I mean, it's incredible what you do. It's like, I wish I had my friend. She passed away from cancer. I wish I knew you when, before then. And you could.
So that's a thing that, our industry gives in healthcare a lot of death sentences before the person is even meant to leave the earth. And that's what I love doing work around, is to actually give them that life back. And I have worked with a lot of cancer patients too, who've been cancer free now. So there's just, there's so much out there, and nobody has to die before they want to die.
Yeah. Well, I can't wait to hear your interview tomorrow. Oh my gosh, that is going to be incredible interview. Okay.
Yeah.
Everyone, have an amazing weekend, and make sure that we schedule time. Brian, you have my email address, right, from the chat? So
yes, I do.
Yeah, so send me your available time that we can meet and also connect with the other people. Definitely want to do that. And Martha, I'm going to try and send you whatever I can too, so you can get the contacts too. Okay.
You know what?
Marie,
would you mind sharing the contacts with the group?
Yes, I will. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to share it to everybody. Josh, were you able to save the chat? Because
Yes,
Martha, I
it-
think she's gonna need it. And then Dr. Muncy, you got the contact, right?
Yeah, I've connected with everyone on LinkedIn.
Okay, all right, perfect. Yeah, connect on LinkedIn, connect on wherever you can connect. Thank you so much, okay?
Have a
Thank
good one,
you.
guys.
Nice-
Nice meeting
nice
y'all.
to meet you.
All right.
Pleasure meeting everybody. Have a great weekend.
All right,
You
thank
too.
you. Bye-bye now.
Bye.